Somewhere right now, you're about to react to something. A comment, a silence, a tone in someone's voice. And before you even think about it, you'll already know exactly how to respond. Where did that reaction come from? You'll probably say it's just who you are, your personality. Something built from your own experiences, your own choices, your own life. That's not quite right, because a lot of what feels like you was furnished long before you moved in. In the 1950s, a British psychiatrist named John Bowlby noticed something strange while studying children separated from their parents. The way a child learned to handle closeness, conflict, and fear wasn't something they invented. It was copied, almost exactly, from the adults who raised them. He called it attachment. And the pattern doesn't stay in childhood. It runs the rest of your life on a loop, mostly outside your awareness. If a parent pulled away during conflict, you probably learned that distance means safety. If a parent got loud, you probably learned that loud is how love sounds. None of that was a decision you made. It was a room built around you before you had the tools to argue about the furniture. But that's only the first layer. In 2015, researchers at Mount Sinai studied something even stranger. Descendants of Holocaust survivors, people who never lived through the trauma themselves, showed measurable biological markers of stress usually only seen in people who had. The mechanism is called epigenetic inheritance. Trauma doesn't just get talked about at the dinner table. It can alter how genes are expressed, and that alteration can pass to the next generation. Not the memory, not the story, the chemistry, which means some of what you call your anxiety, your hypervigilance, your instinct to brace for something bad, might not have started with you at all. Here's where it gets genuinely uncomfortable. Family therapist Murray Bowen spent decades studying something he called the multi-generational transmission process. His theory was blunt. Families don't just pass down photo albums and last names. They pass down roles. The peacekeeper, the scapegoat, the invisible one, the one who has to be perfect so nobody worries. And children don't apply for these roles. They're assigned. Usually before age 7. Usually without a single word being said out loud. You may have spent your whole life thinking you were naturally the responsible one, the calm one, the one who fixes things. You might just be the one who got handed that job. Twin studies make this even harder to ignore. Researchers studying identical twins raised in completely different households, different cities, sometimes different countries, expected to find two very different people. Instead, they kept finding eerie overlaps, similar career choices, similar marriages, sometimes the same nervous habits appearing independently in two people who had never met. Genetics accounts for some of that. But behavioral geneticists studying these twins found something they didn't expect. Even the twin raised apart still tended to recreate a familiar emotional environment, seeking out relationships and situations that echoed patterns neither twin consciously remembered learning. As if some part of the personality isn't just inherited, it's homesick for a house it's never technically been in before. So if the room was built before you got there, who's actually living in it? Psychologist Richard Schwartz developed a model called internal family systems, based on a simple but unsettling premise. There isn't one unified you making every decision. There's a collection of parts, many of them formed in childhood, each one still running the exact strategy that kept you safe back then. The part of you that goes quiet during conflict, the part that overachieves to avoid criticism, the part that pushes people away right when they get close. Those parts were built for a specific room, at a specific age, under specific conditions. Most of them never got the memo that you don't live there anymore. You're an adult, walking around fully grown, still occasionally negotiating with an 8-year-old's furniture arrangement. And here's the part almost nobody says out loud. This isn't really a flaw. It's evidence that the system worked. Every one of those inherited patterns kept a smaller, more vulnerable version of you safe at some point. The distance that protects you now once protected a child who had nowhere else to go. The performance that exhausts you now once earned a child something they needed badly. Approval, safety, a parent's attention in a house where attention was scarce. You didn't build the room, but you didn't do anything wrong by living in it either.